The important thing here is not what was said in court. The important thing is what was contained in the order. But let me teach. An order would have been made, a written order, not where the oral thing, but the talk there. Following all this discussion in court, the judge would have made a written order. The written order would have entered, and then it is served. The order is served, in this case, it is served on the defendants or the respondents. The respondents would have been the chief immigration officer, who is the commissioner of police, the extended squatter, and the attorney general. So whatever order was made would have been sent to them. So therefore, they know exactly what the order was. If the order indicated that both parties were prevented from leaving, they would know. And I say, before I go any further, that once such an order is made for a person not to be allowed to leave because the court made that order, then it is the duty of the chief immigration officer, the extended squatter, the acting commissioner of police, Clifton Ikin, to ensure that all ports of entry in Guyana, were notified of this order from the judge preventing these people from leaving the country. So I wanted to get that straight. So the question is being asked, how could a judge make an order and then, as we see, a magistrate decide that these people can travel? Again, I say that it would have been the duty of the chief immigration officer, not even the attorney general, because he would have been a respondent based on his office. But the chief immigration officer is the commissioner of police. And if an order is made for someone not to travel out of the country, he would have been written, the copy of the order would have been served on him, and he would have had the responsibility through the deputy chief immigration officer and them to ensure that all ports, whether it's Molson Creek, whether it's Timeri, whether it's Lethem, all ports should have been notified that these people, the court said that they cannot leave. So let me get that out of the way. Now, the next thing, I remember telling you, the judge object, and the judge denied. Then again, I said, what did the order say? So you can't jump and make informed comments unless you saw what the order say. As I said, forget about what was said in court according to what Stabrook News carried on the 19th of October of Chantel Glasgow. Forget about what they wrote in the thing. And I'm not saying that they misrepresented anything. All I'm saying, that may have been said by the judge. But when the written order is done, something different might have been contained in that order. I had that experience, so I know what I'm talking about. Where a certain order, I had to go 3 times to the court, 3 times to get permission to leave. 3 times. I was put on bail, and there was no condition attached to the bail. But knowing how wicked these people are, especially the big nose one, Nosef from Carmichael Street, how the wicked they are, I told my lawyer, so let me go to the court to be safe, and let's get permission for me to travel. So we moved to the court. The Chief Justice herself ordered matter. And the state, through the Attorney General, Anil Nanlal, SC, MP, objected to my being allowed to leave the country. Eventually, the Chief Justice ruled that I can leave. Conditions were attached by the court. I gotta come back by a particular time. I complied with the conditions. I went and I returned as stipulated by the court. I had to leave a second time because it was work-related departures. I had to go back to the court a second time. When I went back, it was Justice Navendra Singh who dealt with the matter. Again, the state objected. And the judge said, well, I must go. Again, condition that I must come back by a particular time. I returned in compliance with the order. And then there was a third time I had to go to the court. And on the third occasion, the state did not object, and I was granted permission to leave and to come back by a particular time. But when the order was written, it was open-ended that I can leave. And I have been traveling ever since on that order. And as I told you all, even when I left Guyana on the last occasion a few weeks ago, they harassed me because they wanted to see the order and all of these type of things. So I'm explaining these things to you to understand. Because in my case, even though I was put on bail, and no condition was all out of the last cash, my passport wasn't lodged, I hadn't to report to any police station or anything like that. Thus, in this case, when bail was granted to Brutus and his wife and the others, part of the condition was conditional, that they had to lodge their passport, and at least I know Brutus had to report to Soku at given time, the second Friday, I think, of every month. So that was it. So let me understand that. Now I'm saying this to you. I ain't see the order. I ain't seen the order. But I'm saying this to you. The fact that the matter went back to the magistrate, and as they're saying that the magistrate gave permission for the wife of Brutus to leave the country, given all what took place, it simply means that the judge never prevented her from leaving. The judge did not make an order preventing Brutus' wife from leaving. I'm willing to put my neck on a block for that. Because had the judge done so, the magistrate would have come and said, you can go. Let me understand what I suspect transpired. What I suspect transpired, and listen to me carefully. We know that when bail was granted, sometime in October, I think it was October 24th, Brutus' wife, Adonica Alder, had to lodge her passport. Right? She had to lodge her passport with the court. The passport was lodged with the court. I suspect what happened thereafter. Remember, that was the condition of the bail. Cash, $500,000 or something, lodge your passport. I'm not sure if she had to report to the police, but we know as a condition, her passport was lodged. I suspect that because the judge did not make an order for her to not to travel, our lawyer went back to the magistrate court to ask for the removal of that condition where her passport was lodged. Because remember, the magistrate would not have explicitly said that you can't leave the country, but once your passport is lodged, that is implicit. It is implied, therefore, your passport lodged, you can't leave. So if you then go back to the magistrate and ask for that particular condition to be removed, and the magistrate agrees, collect your passport, it means that once you collect your passport, you can travel. The magistrate is not going to, I don't think the magistrate would make an explicit order to say that the defendant can travel. But the fact that the passport was returned implies that the person can travel.